Hello, everybody. Welcome back to live streaming. It's been a minute and I missed you. That's right, I did. But I'm going to be coming back pretty consistently now live streaming, and I'm real excited about that because I like hanging out with you. I like talking about design. I like talking about code. I like sharing cool stuff with you. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. Hey, make sure that you are also subscribed and make sure you hit that bell icon so you know you get notified when more live streams coming out. Hey, by the way, more live streams all next week, Monday through Friday. I'm going to be here, same time, same place, same bat channel. We're going to be doing an entire series. We build a website from start to finish using Framer. We're going to go through every piece of it. So if you haven't learned Framer, if you're excited about that, or maybe you know nothing about it, but you'd like to build a website on your own, then that's going to be the stream for you. We're talking every day, interactive, live sessions, ask me questions, a template provided, the whole shebang. It's going to be phenomenal. How are you doing, though? That's what I want to know. Have you been having a good summer? Are you going back to school? Are you working? What are you up to? Let me know in the chat. We're streaming today on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter as well. Pretty cool. Hey, what's up to my Twitter fam out there for watching over on that platform? Hey, I got a really cool announcement I actually talked about on Twitter the other day. My creative agency, that's right, I do run a creative agency called Good Fight Creative. We're doing a really cool pro bono design initiative. We're looking for somebody who's trying to change the world for the positive, and we want to do 1 month of premium design work for you for free. So hey, if you're out there and you know anybody, the designer that's a founder, an entrepreneur, a dev-led team, and they're maybe kind of an early stage startup and they're trying to make some sort of positive impact, then they'll get 1 month of expert design services with me and my team, collaboration, mentorship, and all they have to do is apply for the opportunity just like that. Isn't that cool? It's fun to give back to people. So let's do some of that. Put the word out on the street if you can that we're doing really cool stuff. Hey, side note, if you don't know any founders, you don't know any of them, you're just trying to learn UI design yourself, maybe that's why you're here. We have one more announcement before we dive in. My 30-day UI design program is about to go out of sale. That means it's currently been on sale for the summer, 50% off. And it is the biggest, best, most amazing UI design program on the market right now. It's on sale for $3.99. In a couple more days, it's going to go back up to $7.99 for full price. So if you're interested in that, jump over to 30dayui.com, sign up, and you'll get access to it. Okay, cool. Hey, let's dive in and start talking about the topic of today, which is we're going to be discussing getting started in your UI design career. Raise your hand, crisscross applesauce out there if you're trying to get started in your UI design career. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're just starting. Maybe you're way further down the road. You're already on track. I love that for you. I'm excited for you and your journey. Maybe you could give back and share some of your insights and thought process in the comments, and maybe leave a thumbs up on this video. Maybe that would help other people in their pursuit of their design career. We are talking specifically about UI design today. That's the thing that I love so much more than any other kind of design, really. I feel like technology is amazing and it helps us reach people. And so UI designers out there, you have the power to make the difference. But today we're going to be talking about starting your UI design career. And we're going to talk in this presentation about kind of 5 big points with a couple of tips that I've learned over the years. Number 1, you need to learn the basic of design. This is very true. There's a lot of times I do mentorships with people and they're like, give me some tips and some tricks. I really need to get my foot in the door. I really need to, if people could just see. Yes, maybe. But what if people see and what they realize is that your UI design skills are lacking? So you need to learn the fundamentals. You need to learn the foundation. You know, my friend on YouTube, and I'll point you a link down in the description because I can never ever say Michael's last name. Mauskowitz, something. I'm gonna murder his name right now. I've only met him once or twice, so he's a loose friend. But he has a really great video that I'll find and recommend that's all about the different stages of UI design, right? And the levels. And so, yes, absolutely. Let's look at 5 levels of UI design. It's coming right now, and here he is. Malwitz. I always say Malkovitz. That's not the thing, though, is it? It's not Malkovitz. It's Malwitz. So you can go over and check out Michael's channel. He's got super good content, super recommend. And let's not watch the ad for Old Spice right now, but instead, let's wait till the ad plays and we'll just talk a little bit about the video, because in this video, he's going to describe the 5 levels you can travel. And really, to be hireable, you got to be level 4 and 5. Level 1, 2, and 3, you're just not hireable. And so it's a great video that's called The 5 Levels of UI Skill Only 4+ Gets You Hired. Love this video. Recommend it to so many people. Okay, so definitely go and check that out. But here's some other things that you might do when it comes to learning the basics. Okay, number 1, there's a great book out there that I recommend to anybody and everybody that will listen to me called The Non-Designer's Design Book. This is put out by Robin Williams, not the actor Robin Williams, but a different Robin Williams. And it talks about all the fundamentals of design. If you haven't been to design school, if you haven't been to design college, art college, and you need to just like brush up on them or learn them for the first time, I think it's like a $9 book on Amazon. You can read it in a weekend and it will fill you with these ideas, these foundational basics. We also talk about them in the 30-day UI course if you're interested. But that's a big one. Next one would be YouTube videos. YouTube videos are cheap. By cheap, I mean free. There's plenty of YouTube videos on this channel, my channel. There's also a lot of YouTube videos of other people like Michael Malwitz or, you know, Mizco or Charlie Prangley or Charlie Marie or Femke and all these talented design creators, which is amazing that there's so much free content on YouTube that you can learn these design basics. Lastly, you can do free and cheap courses. Find a good course that fits you. Actually, right now, if you sign up for free to become a design champion, you could actually just scan the QR code up here. It's free to join the free tier of Design Champs, and there's actually a couple of free courses in there, and then also some really good cheap courses. And if you want to level up and be a Design Champ Plus member, then you get all sorts of other benefits like more courses, more access, more content, all that kind of stuff. But there are plenty of free and cheap courses out there to help you master the basics of design. Notice that I didn't say master Figma yet. I said master the basics of design, because can I just be honest? Can we be honest? This is an honest room to speak in. Tools don't matter. Sorry, tools don't matter. Nobody hires a person purely because they know Figma. They hire people because they know how to design, and design is always going to fall back onto the basics of design. Let's talk about stage 2. You need to study UI patterns and UI specifics. It's not enough to just know a little bit about color theory, a little bit about layout, a little bit about these general design principles. You gotta really study UI patterns. You need to saturate yourself. So stop scrolling on social media and start scrolling on the app stores. Just start downloading apps, running through them, checking them out. Look at mobbin.com and just saturate yourself with UI design patterns and specifics. What is an accordion? What is a drop down? What is a button? What is a secondary, a primary, a tertiary button? What's a side menu, a bottom tab bar navigation? Man, there's so many specifics to the medium in which we design for that you need to understand those. You need to start learning what those things are. Here's some good places to start, and then we have some questions, and I love questions, by the way. If you have questions, pop them down in the chat. But here's a couple of recommendations I would have for studying UI patterns and UI specifics. Number 1, look at the Apple HIG, the Human Interface Guidelines. You can go to developer.apple.com, look up the Human Interface Guidelines, and you know what? Here, just scroll the Human Interface Guidelines and just click on everything. It's going to tell you like what Apple's idea is about buttons and accordions and drop downs and typography and spacing and line height and kerning. It's going to tell you all of that stuff through the lens of Apple, which I'm going to be honest, it's not a bad lens. Not a bad lens at all if you're going to like look through a lens, okay? And then likewise, you can go jump and check out the Google Material Design Guidelines. That's going to be the 2 major platforms in which we design for, especially if you're designing for mobile applications. And those, just because they're mobile applications doesn't mean they don't have a lot to say about desktop software, native software, web applications, websites. They have plenty to say because those are UI design specifics, and UI is all of those things that I just mentioned. So you can take it from the big boys, you can take it from the experts, and that is Apple and Google and how they think about interface and the guidelines that they set forth. Lastly, you could look up some different pattern libraries and design system. Think about something like Untitled UI, the Pegasus design system. Read books like Atomic Habits by Brad Frost. You can just inundate yourself with libraries, systems, UI kits. There's a bunch of free ones directly on the Figma community. So just go in there and look up UI kit, look up design system, and you'll get a bunch of free stuff. Look at those, see how they're built, tear them down, put them back together, and start to now blend together these two things, these design fundamentals and these UI specifics and patterns. You should be able to, like flashcards, be able to talk about in depth any one of these patterns. So when I say to you, hey, tell me about an accordion, or tell me about a mega menu, or tell me about a drop down, I want to hear why they're efficient, when they should get used, how they should get used, good examples of them. I want you to just spout those off as much as possible. Tell me about the rule of thumbs, and tell me about the bottom tab bar navigation versus a sidebar navigation like Google Material Design. I need you to be versed in these things. Those things, again, nobody's hiring design tools. They're hiring people that use the tools to bring value. We're going to talk more about value later. Hello to everybody also who is in the chat. Hello to Murat and Jason and Moonmita, who's got a question, by the way. So let's answer Moonmita's question. Hi, Jesse. This is Moon from San Francisco, working as a senior product designer. Good for you. Thanks so much for this live session. I'm currently redesigning my portfolio website and using Framer. I love the my current website is on WordPress and I'm changing it. I'm going to build the whole thing on Figma and Framer. So this is perfect time for me. Thanks. Absolutely. We're going to do that whole session next week. We're going to build out an entire SaaS website from scratch. And also I'll say this, man, Framer is like my platform of choice right now for building websites, client websites, internal projects. Framer is just crushing right now at the ability for designers to actually build, publish, launch those websites. So I think great choice, Moon, on building your portfolio there. There's a lot of great free templates you could start with if you are worried about building one yourself. Maybe just tweak and change it. Could if you wanted to, or not. We could keep on rolling. Let's go into the third point, which is if you want to get hired, and remember, that's what this entire session is about. It's about you getting hired and starting your career as a UI designer. You're going to need to create 3 capstone projects, okay? Why 3? We're going to talk about this in a little bit, but 3 is just this great number that allows you to showcase the wealth of knowledge and skills you have without having too many case studies, because hiring managers are never going to read those. Interested parties are never going to read that many. But if you only have 1 or 2, it starts to seem like you don't have the experience. 3, I find, is that magical number. And here is my suggestion on what those 3 capstone projects should be. You should have a mobile app, you should have a web app, and you should have a website. Now, you might have a section in your portfolio like Moon is building, or somewhere else, where you show lots of other work. Could be your Dribble, or it could be your Contra account, or it could be a project on your website that says various projects, and you just show a crap ton of skill and other things. Slap it all in there. Doesn't need to be a giant explained case study, but for your giant explained case studies, mobile app, web app, and website. Because this shows, as a UI designer, this well-rounded skill set, right? And really, here's what's happening in the market right now. We went from years and years ago, everybody like needing a generalist, somebody who could wear multiple hats and do lots of things, websites, mobile apps, graphic design, video editing, to also we went like around 2016 to 2022, we went real specialists where people were hiring UI designers, and that's all they did, or design system specialists. Well, we've come off the back of a bull market, and now we're a little bit in a bear market as far as the current climate goes, like in our industry, the industry climate. And now we're on the backside and we're now in that bear market. So we're looking more for multifaceted people. So if you can show them mobile app, web app, and website, that shows this really wide arc of skills that you're taking UI and applying it. So it's one skill It's applied in multiple ways. All right. So that is very, very important. Now, again, if you're looking to build your case studies, I do think that the 30-day UI program would be a great place for you to start, because you will build one massive case study. And actually, ready for me to get a little bit tricksy, you actually build two. You build a mobile and you build a desktop web app out of the same project. And you could use that if you wanted to, and then build your marketing website. I think maybe it's time to update the course with a Framer section where we build your portfolio in Framer then? Oh, that could be super valuable to you. And I always want to bring value to everybody. Okay, so maybe we're going to do that. Maybe we're going to tag onto the course. But you need these 3 big capstone projects. I give you, inside the course, I give you a template. I give you the instruction. I show you how to write content. I show you how to lay things out, build mock-ups, to write the copy, to assemble the whole thing together. It's pretty dope. It's pretty amazing. Okay, Renard asks a great question with, what do you do with companies asking for 3 to 5 years of experience? How do junior designers without any experience get hired? I have 2 answers to this question. Number 1, you can get experience in a lot of ways by offering cheap work, free work, working for nonprofits. Find a church in your area, even if you don't believe in what that church believes in. Every church needs good design work. Ask if you can help them out with their flyer, their Sunday morning, you know, banners, their website. Just say, hey, I can offer you 10 hours of free work a week. Can we do that? And then could I get a testimonial from you? If you work for a 501c3 nonprofit, you can actually write it off on your taxes. You can actually get a tax deduction to learn design. Find somebody who's willing to let you do bad design for them so that you can learn how to turn that bad design into good design, and find a clever way to do it. There's plenty of things. Start to reach out to your immediate network. Friends, family, moms, dads, uncles, significant others, people in your community. Maybe you're part of a dodgeball community, a church community, a running club. Can I do something for you? Can I help you out? Can I maybe make a website? And websites do tend to be the easiest thing. So you can get experience, and you'll gain a lot of experience by doing that. Number 2, though, screw that whole 3 to 5 years experience thing. That's what I say. That whole 3 to 5 years of experience thing is a tangible way to speak about the level of skill. So like my friend Michael Malowitz talks about in that video, are you rocking level 4 and above design, right? And this is, again, a great video for that. I recommend you go watch this video. I'm gonna just like talk about his awesomeness all day, every day, because he makes really, really great content. But again, you can actually, you know, learn quite a bit in a very short amount of time. So you don't actually need that 3 to 5 year mark, but they're looking for that level. So use that video, assess your current level, and ask yourself, because level 4 and level 5 is around that 3. The average person takes about 3-ish years to learn that. But I know some people that I've mentored, they've learned design in 6 to 8 months. I know people that come out of the 30-day UI design program, and they went from like 0 to hero, and they're superstars. I know some people that come out of that program and they need a couple more months of work. Everybody's different in their capabilities, skill sets, and natural abilities, right? So they're just using a hard number to communicate the idea of the level of expertise and skill that they need, or that you need. So that's how you respond to that. Go get you some experience. There's plenty of ways, but also do an honest assessment of your skill set. Figure out how to level up if you need to. And if you don't need to, if you're that level 4 or level 5, like Michael Malowitz says, then forget about it. Have that level of confidence. Tell them to go take a hike on that number. Don't say that to them verbally, but you can just bypass that number because you know that the level of skill you bring is represented there. Cool. Awesome. Your portfolio speaks it all. That's all you need. All right. Renard says, for the first step, since website needs to work to be used, do I need to work with a developer when doing the first step? I tell you what, Renard, join me next week, Monday through Friday. We're going to do an entire Framer week where we spend every single day building a Framer website. You'll see how easy it is using Framer to build your own websites, okay? And then you could take that and you could show it to the world and go, check it out. Look how awesome I am. I could build websites on my own. I don't need no developer to help me. Jameson, my friend Jameson that hung out with me at Detach at Config just earlier this year, says, it was great to meet you. It was great to meet you, Jameson. These insights are super useful. Currently redesigning my portfolio. Again, I recommend Framer. I think it's a dope option for portfolio building. Boy, I've been talking a lot. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee. What are you guys drinking this morning? Coffee, tea, water, something interesting? No, it's Friday, but don't drink the other type of drink until much later tonight. All right, let's talk about our 4th out of 5th 5 points. Pardon me. This is where we're going to stop and jam quite a bit. You need to create a value-driven portfolio. Notice I didn't just say, like, you got to have a portfolio. And there's a lot of people in the chat today talking about portfolio. Yes, you need a portfolio, but it can't just be any old portfolio. You want it to be what I call a value-driven portfolio. And that portfolio doesn't just show pretty work. It shows, and it's constantly speaking to, demonstrating, presenting the type of value that you are able to bring to a company. Now, when you start to ask yourself, well, what is value? If value isn't how pretty something is, because let me tell you, it's not. There's a lot of people that can design pretty things. And should you be able to design pretty things? Yes, 100%. There's a lot of pretty things that bring 0 value, okay? A lot of pretty things out there. You can just go search Dribbble. There's millions of amazingly talented designers. So what hope do you have? Well, again, it's not about how pretty you make things. It's about the value that that thing brought whoever you made it for. So we need to start sussing out and figuring out, how do we deliver value to people? Usually, as the folks that I've talked to and interviewed, and you can read and watch all the different content here on my channel over inside the Design Champs. There's extra content that you can watch there as well. But you can watch like Jonathan from AJ and Smart is the person who really taught me this. There's really only a couple types of value, okay? One of them is traffic, the other one is revenue, and the third one is vanity, okay? So if you can learn how to bring traffic to somebody, okay, like that's huge. Leads, traffic, attention, all of that, that's huge. Number one, that's valuable. Number two, revenue. Obviously, leads and traffic hopefully end up becoming value, right? So if you can learn how to bring revenue to people, right, by making, let's say, a flow easier that gets people to sign up, that converts more people to sales, boom, all of a sudden you are bringing value. You are worth money. Lastly, vanity. Somebody wants you to stroke their ego, make them look really good. That's where maybe the visual aspect of your job really does shine and come through. But as a UI designer, we should be able to provide all 3 of these things. And if you don't know how to provide them, I challenge you to go out and learn how to offer or bring value. Stop asking yourself, this is pretty though, right? And start saying, did it bring any of those 3 things that Jesse mentioned? I don't know. Because really what we need to do is, within those 3 things we talked about, you can really boil it down to quantitative versions of those 3 things and qualitative versions of those 3 things. A little UX deep dive for you right now. Quantitative, these are hard numbers, quantifiable numbers, right? You used to convert 1 person a month, and now I helped you through the website I built convert 5 people a month. And each person that you converted was $1,000. So I helped this person's business go from $1,000 to $5,000 every month. Amazing. Right? If you came to me and said, Jesse, hire me, I 5x the revenue of every client I work with, I go, how can I give you my money? How can I hire you? I don't go, is it worth it? I mean, yeah, it's pretty. I start going, ooh, I see money symbols. I see dollar signs. How can I get a hold of you? You are so valuable to me because of the value you will bring to me. Again, this is going to hurt a lot of people's ego. You're a designer. Nobody cares what the designs you design look like. We care about how they perform. Now, all the foundations of design and UI design specifics, everything we've talked about, will actually help you design valuable products. But can you speak about them, and do you focus on them as the crux of the issue? So there's quantitative things, analytics, Google Analytics, tracking, all of those things. If you can bring any of those, that's great. And most people cannot, and that's where the qualitative numbers might come in. How do we get qualitative metrics to put in our portfolios or case studies, our value-driven portfolios? Well, 9 out of 10 doctors agree that this toothpaste is best. I'm probably going to buy that toothpaste, right? It's kind of convincing. So you can get qualitative numbers. So for instance, let's say you do, and this is what I always encourage. Actually, we encourage this inside of the 30-day UI design program. Take an ugly app that you can find or website, redesign it, make it pretty, but also improve something there of value, okay? And take a simple user flow or user journey. The user is trying to, let's say, add something to their basket and check out on an e-commerce website. Redesign it, make it less clicks to get to, easier to understand, and easier to check out. And then show it to your friends and family. Come into the free Design Champs community. Put your work there. Ask for feedback. Ask for people to test your prototype. Ask them which one was easier, the original one or mine. And if you can get 9 out of 10 people to say your prototype is better, then you can have a concept piece of work in your portfolio with value-driven metrics that says 9 out of 10 people agree that my design is easier, it has less clicks, less friction, and it's easier and more enjoyable to use. That's a qualitative number that makes me go, oh, interesting. This person knows how to bring value, even in concept work. For God's sakes, can we hire this person? If they can do that in a piece of concept work or concept project, imagine what they can do for us. Ranga says, this is a premiere or actually live? Oh, Ranga, I just read your name. Oh, it's live. Yes, Sky Hippie says, need a clear, super clean framework for a case study. Can you recommend any? Yeah, I got some. Inside the Design Champs community. Go sign up, become a Design Champ. It's super fun, amazing. Get in there for free. designchamps.io. It'll lead you into the Design Champs community where there's all sorts of amazing resources like case study portfolios and templates and different things like that. We have events going on in here. We have our very own version of Dribble where we actually give feedback and things don't suck. Inside the Design Champs Plus community, you can ask questions and have chat. And we also have premium resources in here like productivity systems, so on and so forth. And you actually have the extended interview cuts of all of my short bits here on YouTube with all of these amazing people. It continues to grow. Come on in and become a design champion and you'll get access to tons of stuff like that. Okay, let's see. Any other questions we have here? I'm just going to call you Deppy. It's the latest comment. It says, in the portfolio, can we design one case study in dark mode? Ooh, we have specific chapters and series on dark mode where we talk about what it looks like to design both light and dark, to design them at the same time, to use variables inside of Figma, and to use design tokens. All of that stuff yep, absolutely. And somebody says, ooh, Jag Grant says the pricing section for Design Champs mobile view is looking weird. I'll take a look at that. Thanks for the QA. We'll jump on that. That's what I love about community. People helping people. That helps me. Doesn't hurt me. It helps me make it better for you. Cool. Awesome. So, yes. So far we've talked about all these things, but that value-driven portfolio for me is really one of the biggest pieces. It's the culmination of everything we've already talked about. The design basics, the UI patterns, the case studies, they all build up to that value-driven portfolio. And if you want to build one, again, join me next week. We're going to do Monday through Friday, every single day stream where we're going to be learning how to design a website in Framer. You could take that same skill set and immediately design your portfolio, okay? It's going to be super dope. Hey, let's jump into the last point so we're not lingering too long. You got to be consistent. I think a lot of times when I mentor people and I speak with people, they think this is like an overnight thing. Like, for instance, people jump into my 30-day UI design program and they go, cool, 30 days. And then, oh, I don't have to do anything after. No. 30 days, the reason I created that program in 30 days is to create healthy habits for you to become a UI designer, to learn everything you need, but realize that being a UI designer is consistent work each and every day, opening up that laptop or that computer, getting your hands on the pixels, moving things around, saturating yourself with the skill set. But you gotta be consistent, okay? So here's a couple tips for being consistent. Number one, stop worrying about trends. Stop worrying about trends. People get so in the weeds about this certain trend or that certain platform or this certain tool. They go, oh, that's the thing I have to learn right now. No, you learn what you need when you need it. And that's our second point. Don't learn more than you currently need. Like, if you don't need to build websites right now, then don't learn Framer. If all you need to learn how to do is design, like the basics of design, then man, you need to get into a free design tool. Skip Figma because it costs money. Jump over to something like PenPot. Start learning color. Start learning layout. Start learning typography. Those are basic things you could do for free, but you learn what you need when you need it consistently, folks. That's the big deal, okay? So also show up every day. I really encourage it. Maybe we should do this soon. Maybe along with the 30-day UI design program, we should do a 30-day UI design challenge. But we also do UI design challenges inside of the community here. So if you're interested, we do stuff like this. I'll post once a week a challenge for you to partake in. This one was an online learning platform, UI design challenge. I give you some of the details. I tell you where to post. You post them over in the gallery. And look, this is where you start to get feedback and thoughts on your work. I post work there. Other people post work there. It's a beautiful thing. So if you want to be challenged at least once a week, you can come in and be challenged in the community for free. For freezies. Just come in and you'll get all the details and the insights you need to grow in that skill set, okay? Jameson says, I find Framer's pricing to be more expensive than Webflow and other web builders. What are your thoughts? Yeah, it's interesting because I always kind of like a default to value. I'm willing to pay for things that bring me the value. I'm willing to pay for Webflow. I'm willing to pay for Framer. I'm willing to pay for Notion. I'm willing to pay for ChatGPT. I'm willing to pay for stuff. But to do so, I have to see the value in it. And so I guess if you were just building websites and you're not selling them to anybody, you're not building a website for yourself, you don't see the value in building a value-driven portfolio, and you don't have any sort of action items or goals on how you might leverage that website and what kind of benefits that website that you're leveraging might bring to you, then it seems expensive. But I ask myself this, like if I was a brand new UI designer and trying to start my career, is it worth $15 to $20 a month to have a website up in a couple of days showcasing my work and leveraging that website to start applying for jobs? Yeah, because if you don't have the $15 a month to leverage that, then you could just do a single page, keep it on the free Framer site, and that's respectable. Right? So you can use the Framer staging domain for free. It'll have a little tag that says made in Framer, but actually isn't that kind of a benefit? Aren't you showing people that you know how to build websites and that you're scrappy and resourceful? I think so. So it's a kind of a win-win for me. So I don't mind the pricing model of any of these tools, mostly because I figure out how to find value in it. So for instance, if I'm using Framer for a client, I'm charging $5,000 to $10,000 for a website. I'm building them the website within a week or two. Does it behoove me to use a platform that I can build so quickly? Yes, it does. So I'll pay for it. They can manage their website very easily. Has a CMS, lots of cool features, easy to jump in and deal with. Is it worth it for them to pay 15 or 20 bucks a month? I think so, but it may not be worth it to the client if they're not making any money off the website. So if what clients are complaining, so originally I was talking about me complaining about prices of things, but if clients are going, that's too expensive, then what you actually have is a client that doesn't know how to get any value out of that tool being the website, right? So it's all about value, and value in context makes a lot of sense. If you're not making any money, don't spend any money. If you're making lots of money, you should spend a lot of money. If you're only making a little bit of money and you want to make more money, you can't keep doing things the way that you've already done. You got to change something. Maybe that means investing a little bit more. This is the same for learning. You go like, hey, I want to do free courses. I want to do YouTube videos. I want to read cheap stuff. But sometimes you know what really helps? Paying for a course, because it has a perfect sequence. The instructor has thought about it. So sometimes a course makes sense. Other times it does not. Right? Okay, so that's my thoughts on pricing. Zinza Mailer, hi, what do you suggest? What's your advice? Establishing a solo agency in 2024 to design landing pages better than establishing an e-commerce, advertising, creative, drop shipping agency. I don't know anything about drop shipping. I don't know if it's a scam. I don't know if it's awesome. I don't know if it'll make me $1 million this week if I started. I have no idea about it. But I do know that starting an agency can be great. A solo agency. I run a solo agency where I outsource some of the work. We do really rad work for really rad people. So much so that I'm able to turn around and do 1 free month of work for 1 lucky founder or startup. We're doing our pro bono initiative this year. If you know somebody, if you can recommend somebody to go to goodfightcreative.com/pro bono, if they are a visionary founder, early stage startup, positive impact, they want to try to change the world with something, a website. I've already have a dozen submissions, so it's really, really cool, but I want to get at least 20 so I can make a good decision here. All they have to do is apply and we'll give you 1 free month. So agencies can be rad, but you need to know how to run an agency. It's not just enough to know how to do design or want to do design. You have to be able to run a business and do good client interaction. So if you can do good client interaction, then running an agency for you. If you want to run a business and deal with the money and the organization, the structure, the processes, the workflows, then maybe it's for you. You probably need those if you're going to do freelance anyways. That makes you a better freelancer. Okay, so hey, those are my thoughts there when it comes to actually being consistent. Stop worrying about trends. Don't learn more than you currently need, and do it every single day. Hey, if you have any more questions, let me know. We are coming to the end of our stream. Nonly says, hey, I love these. I just came across your YouTube and I'm glued to it. I am glued to the awesomeness that is you. Thank you for being so appreciative and wonderful. Thank you to my entire community who is so awesome and cool always. I'm really excited to be back here with these live streams. Going to be doing them weekly, so that means once a week, every Friday usually. You can expect a live stream and also cool content coming out on the channel. Also, watch out for those cool interview clips that are coming out every week. I have interviews on my channel now with Dan Mall and MDS and Femke and Pablo Stanley and Helen Tran, and all sorts of amazing people are starting to come out for these interviews, and they are like mind-blowing. If you want the full clips, you can always jump in to become a design champ, and you can watch the full unedited clips that are super duper valuable over in the design community there. And it's free to sign up. You can always step up into a Design Champs Plus membership. With that, you get hands-on mentorship from me, access to a bunch of different channels, content, courses, and things. Really cool. We're building that platform out, and I might even have some really cool announcements in the coming months about the Design Champs and what we are doing with it. But I'm doing a lot of really cool things right now. I'm running the agency. I am launching an application, a product of my own. We're making some changes in the Design Champs and growing that platform to reach more designers, and there might even be some big changes coming to the YouTube channel that are for the positive, that are going to be net positive and very exciting. Let's see. Mitesh says, any advice as to blocking out time to learn? Yes. When you're being consistent, you do want to block out time to learn. And I've always found that actually time blocking and living by my calendar is very helpful. I also found that a Pomodoro timer can be very helpful. And I recently just picked up this little gadget right here, and you know what it is? It's just a simple little clock, and so I can set times for myself. I can press play. It's physically sitting here. It's not on the screen. It's ticking down my time, and I can focus. So just learn how to be a focused person. Block out the time on your calendar. Maybe use the Pomodoro technique to say, I'm going to study, I'm going to learn, I'm going to challenge myself for the next 45 minutes. I also, if you're learning how to do UI design, I like morning UI challenges. Give yourself 30 minutes and try to design something and see what you can come up with in 30 minutes. It's kind of like working out at the gym. Give yourself a limited amount of time and you crank away. Renard says, as a UI UX designer, will it be fine if my showcase is so long because I lay out my thought process? Ooh, okay. So you're asking, do you put a navigation bar there? I think there's a fine balance. I personally am not a fan of reading people's long, novel-esque case studies that are way too long to read. I always think everybody should put a TLDR, a too long don't read section, up at the top. I think you should mix the media between the story and imagery. I think the whole thing should be branded and beautiful so it's enjoyable for me to continue. And if it's going to be long, yeah, I think you should put a fixed navigation on it somewhere. So as the user scrolls down, they can move through the sections. I think that could be very nice. Really what you want to do is you want to make it possible for people to scan your case study, go exactly where they need to without getting them stuck in a long, too long, don't read kind of moment. So good question. Appreciate that question. I appreciate you guys. Again, we got some opportunities here. Sign up to become a design champ. If you are interested also, you could head over and check out the 30-day UI design program. It is going off sale in a couple of days. Currently, it's only $3.99. It's going to jump back up to $7.99 in a little bit, but you get 46 plus hours of time with me where we talk about all those things, fundamentals, UI specifics. We talk about lighting and shadow. We talk about prototyping and design systems. We talk about your capstone project, and we do more career building right there. You can enroll right now. And you know what's really cool? There's also a payment plan, so you could do 2 monthly payments. If you don't have all of it right now, you could just go this month, next month, and you'll have it all paid up, no problem. People are loving this program that I've assembled, and I'm really excited about it. People are graduating with certificates, with skill sets, getting jobs from it. So very proud of it. If you are interested, definitely consider signing up to be part of the 30-day UI design program. And with that, I say thank you so much for joining on this fine Friday morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you're at. Keep up the good work. You're doing good. I promise you, I'm here to encourage you. Stay the course. You can learn it. If I can learn it, you can learn it. And we will see you in the next live stream. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.